something very interesting. I was doing some reading on JW Facts, and sure enough, I found that they were talking about the fact that the society discouraged any man to wear beards. And there was a very interesting scripture that I found in Leviticus, and I'm going to show you the scripture where two commands are mentioned. One is that God's people could not have a tattoo. The other one is that God's people, as far as men were concerned, needed to grow beards. They were not allowed to shave their beards. And it's interesting to know, if you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or if you were, you know that the society today, the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, prevents brothers to have beards and also prevents them to have tattoos. So the first question you may be asking yourself, if you have any thinking abilities left, is that, okay, how come I cannot have a tattoo according to this scripture? Because as far as I know, the New Testament does not even talk about tattoos. That is the only place where it talks about God's people should not have a tattoo. So why on one hand I still can't have a tattoo, on the other hand I can grow a beard? It's the other way around. It's not even like you give me a choice, if I'm a man, if I want to grow a beard or not. I cannot. When just the scripture, just right before the tattoo scripture, you can't have tattoos, but you must have beards, and today Jehovah's Witnesses must have no beards. So that's very interesting how hypocritical this is. And another things I started thinking about is that, and as JW's mentioned, JW Facts, the Egyptians, who were not God's people, on the other hand, they were shaved, they were clean shaved. And it's interesting that nowadays, all of a sudden, I started thinking about presidents of different countries. And I'm going to show you those presidents. Past and present presidents of France, the United States, prime ministers of England, and some other presidents. I'm going to show you the pictures right now. None of them have beards. But it's interesting to know that none of them are God's people either, according to the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, right? So it's very interesting to see how, on one hand, you still can't have a tattoo based on that Leviticus scripture. On the other hand, you must not have a beard, which is exactly as in the past the Egyptians were doing. They had no beards, they were clean shaved, and as the presidents and kings of this world, who for the most part have no beards. So let's go to the scripture and see what the scripture says, and let me show you some of those pictures to prove to you that those guys who are, according to the society, very well worldly and very well from the Satan world, and don't have any beards. Interesting, isn't it? Now let's read Leviticus 19:27, verse 27 and 28. Do not cut the hair at the sides of your head or clip off the edges of your beard. Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord. Okay, now let's see. The world leaders. President Obama, as you know, does not have a beard. President before him, George W. Bush, does not have a beard. President before him, Bill Clinton, does not have a beard. Now let's go to France. A current president of France, François Hollande, does not have a beard. The president before, not before him, a previous president between the 1980s and 1990s, François Mitterrand, does not have a beard. The president before him in the 1970s, president of France, Valéry Giscard d'Estaing, does not have a beard. Now let's go to the UK. The current Prime Minister, David Cameron, does not have a beard. The Prime Minister before him, Gordon Brown, does not have a beard. The Prime Minister before him, Tony Blair, does not have a beard. The new King of Spain since 2014, Felipe of Spain, as you can tell, does not have a beard. And the current President of Italy, Sergio Mattarella, does not have a beard either. So, I think this is very, very interesting that most world leaders, I could not even think of one that actually has a beard. Most world leaders, country leaders of this world do have a clean shaved face, just like the Egyptians in biblical time. Another interesting thing is think about Jewish people. Think about the Amish people, for example. They do nowadays, a lot of them have beards, especially because they are basing their life on this scripture of the Old Testament. Thus, they have beards. But as for Jehovah's Witnesses, as always, they are using the scriptures when it's convenient to them. In the case of the beard business, so to speak, for some reason it's not convenient to them. So they are just brushing aside this scripture completely, which is just right next to the other scripture that prevents people to wear tattoos. So Jehovah's Witnesses today decide that this scripture about the tattoo is still okay, but that scripture about the beard is not okay. So this really proves how hypocritical they are and how their religions, their cult makes no sense at all. It's just one more little things that help us to see that they make no sense at all. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it, comment, like it, and if you have not subscribed to my videos yet, please subscribe and be on the lookout for some upcoming videos. Thanks. Bye-bye.